Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I was kindly given the limited edition of Disgaea 7 complete for the Switch 2. Technically it's called the Ewwdo Edition if I pronounced that correctly. This video is an unboxing of that and I will do a review of the game too, but at a later date. I really like the game, as you may imagine. I'm a big Disgaea fan. I think it's a ton of fun. But there's a few controversial things going on with the complete edition of Disgaea 7. Firstly, it's a Switch 2 exclusive, so yeah, people are not super excited about that. Exclusivity is a thing that's not too popular these days. Secondly, it's also a game key card, so there's no game on the actual card. You just get permission to play the game for the foreseeable future. And thirdly, it's this limited edition, which is today's topic. Notoriously, the stock meter was pegged at 100% stock in the Nisa online store. The stock meter is now removed, but one can guess how well that's been going on in terms of sales. It is a Nisa online store exclusive, so you can find it there if you want to buy it yourself. The question is the limited edition any good? Well, I've got one here, so let's take a look. The box itself was pretty decent looking. I appreciate the traditional Japanese design. It looks like one of those decorative boxes. It's as thick as a fence post. I know that's a bit of a strange metric, but that's kind of the first thing that came to mind. The front and back are the same design. Whichever is the front or the back is up to you, I suppose. One of those sides can be opened. The flap is actually well designed. There's a bit of a history with Nisa LEs and their flap design. If you remember back to the Neptunia days, people couldn't open the flap very well and, whatever. But anyways, this is well designed. You're not going to bend anything trying to open it, and it's secure enough that it actually stays shut. So that's good. Once you open it up, you can see the interior is actually really well decorated. It looks really good. With the cover art on the inside there, you kind of do wonder why it's on the outside there, but I understand the decision because it's supposed to look like a Japanese decorative box, so it kind of wouldn't really work if you had it on the outside. Inside, we have only a few items. The Lucky Slumber Cat, the game is tucked in on the side there, and at the very bottom, there is a fan. Yeah, there isn't really much going on in here. The game itself looks pretty good and pretty normal. The inside of the case has a good design. They took advantage of the red there, and I think that looks pretty good. And then here's the game card, which technically doesn't house a game at all. There's some cutesy stickers in there, as well as a little poster. The slumbering cat is, of course, supposed to represent those maneke neko things, the beckoning cat. It fits the theme. The story does have a theme of debt and money, and it's a traditional Japanese icon. And of course, instead of a cat, we actually have an actual monster from the game. So I think that's kind of cool. I actually like it more than I thought I would. It moves around with the power of the sun. No secret where the solar panel may be situated. No batteries required. Yeah, overall, it's kind of fun. You can put it somewhere and it's interesting. And at first glance, it might not even look like a Disgaea thing. You might just think it's a maneke neko. The fan is a bit, I don't know, it's not super amazing. I guess it's kind of interesting to display it open with your Disgaea stuff, but I think the quality just isn't that high. You can't do the thing where you flick it open and fan your face while laughing smugly and then folding it back in, because when you try to fold it back in, it doesn't go together that well. It does a weird overlapping thing and then you have to kind of fumble around with it, so yeah. Honestly, as a limited edition, I think it's lackluster. I like some of the ideas, but why is it just these couple of items? I get that they wanted to differentiate it from the other Disgaea 7 limited edition, the non-complete version, but ironically, that LE feels more complete with the items that it comes with. I think why not go back to some of the ideas from previous Disgaea limited editions, like those little figures you got from, like in D2 and Disgaea 5. Or maybe some items that feature characters appearing in the new storylines that are exclusive to the complete edition, and then, that makes it a bit more relevant to what the game actually comes with. But at least from a design standpoint, I do admire the length they've gone in making sure that the packaging does look nice. But, that's the packaging, and I think it should accent what's inside rather than be the highlight of the limited edition. So yeah, that's my impressions of the Ewwdo Edition of Disgaea 7 complete. I hope you found that helpful. The game review will come out at a later date, so look forward to that review coming out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.